So when Kent Hughes put Evgeny Dadonov on the IR last week because of the virus he's been dealing with, to me, I thought it right in the moment. I'm like, okay, clearly Kent is trying to buy himself some time. He's going to start looking at trade partners and try to offload one of the forwards. I mean, in a perfect world, two of the forwards that have been causing his logjam at forward here. And yes, in the NHL, of course, as we know, depth is valuable. When you're a rebuilding team with players, especially forwards, that could get dealt for picks and prospects, you have to look into that. And I'm not surprised. Montreal Hockey Now, as well as the HockeyWriters.com, have been talking about the fact that this is indeed buying time for the Habs to look at trade partners, talking about likely as trade candidates, talking about potential trade partners as far as teams go. Rumor has it that the Washington Capitals and the Montreal Canadiens have discussed trades as far as a forward go. So to me, it's just a matter of time here. It's going to come, and I think it's going to come relatively soon. There's too many guys. When you have to throw guys on LTIR to keep everything in check, trust me, something's going to come. And whether it's Hoffman, whether it's Drouin, whether it's Dvorak, whether it's Anderson, who's probably going to get suspended today for his hit on Alex Pietrangelo from behind, somebody's going to go, okay? There's going to be somebody going. I think it's going to happen relatively soon, and we'll see more at the trade deadline as well. The question is who, right? Because the Washington Capitals trade talks were in talks for the big three, right? That's what we're going to call them now, the big three as far as trades go. That's Dadonov, that's Drouin, and that's Mike Hoffman. Now, of course, Hoffman, I was talking about this with my dad the other day, the experiment of trying to throw him off on the top line with Suzuki Caufield. That did not work. They were definitely doing that to sweeten up his value for potential suitors, because we know that teams like Anaheim, like Ottawa, like Washington are going to be watching the Montreal Canadiens to try to see who they want to possibly grab to help their forward depth, because Connor Brown got injured for them, right? So it's just a matter of who. And honestly, I mean, when you've got a guy like Mike Hoffman who was healthy scratch for multiple games on a team that is definitely not President's Trophy caliber, like that's for sure, right? Like that's when you need to try to maximize your guys' value for those teams, right? And Mike Hoffman's not going to get you a first-round pick, that's for sure. If getting Dadonov is not going to get you a first-round pick, Dvorak definitely helped his value with that hat trick against St. Louis, but other than that, again, the rumor in the offseason was that GMs were looking at him. Some were saying, oh, they'd be lucky to get a third or fourth-round pick for him, and other teams were saying, no, this guy's got some decent value, second-round pick. So it depends what kind of Dvorak we see this season and continue to see for the Montreal Canadiens, because he's hot and he's cold game-to-game basis, right? So it's one of those things where somebody's going to go. Multiple guys maybe even are going to go, but they have to try to look good so that other teams want to grab them. Nobody wants to trade a third or even a fourth for Mike Hoffman just for him to sit in the press box and be munching popcorn all night. No, like you want somebody who's going to play and help your organization. Right now, I'm thinking Dvorak and Drouin, one of those two is going to be the first to go. I really do think one of those two is going to be the first casualties, just because Mike Hoffman right now, as far as value, like I don't see almost any team wanting him right now unless it's for free, right? Like, so to me, it's Drouin or it's Dvorak, the most likely to go right now. Maybe Armia if he shows a bit more, right? So to me, that's the next move here. When I say that there's a Habs trade coming soon, it's going to be one of those guys. Let's be real here. This logjam down and forward, like Kent Hughes, he really wanted to collect as many forwards as he could on his rebuilding team, which honestly, good on him, because in a rebuild, if any of those guys show any type of value, boom, trade them. And you can, like, I always remember the Flames loading off guys like Yuri Hudler in 2016 and David Jones, right? And Chris Russell. Like, there was pieces there that they had in excess so they could reload, and that's how they got guys like Rasmus Anderson, like Dylan Dubé, like Andrew Mangiapane. So this is the type of thing that the Montreal Canadiens should be looking at here, and I'm sure they are. That's why they have these guys. I mean, to me, if Drouin, Hoffman, Dvorak, Anderson, Armia are all Habs at the start of next season, that's a major failure by Kent Hughes. And I'm just saying that as a hypothetical. I have almost zero faith in that being the case. They're not all going to be Habs. 1, 2, 3 of these guys are probably going to get traded here soon. But as far as the big three, now the question is, what's the first domino to fall? Who's going to be the first of the three to get traded? Drouin, Hoffman, Dvorak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, Dadonov keeps slipping in my mind. I mean, if he can show any semblance of value here, they'll try to get him. There's so many, man. I sometimes I even lose track and forget about, like, oh yeah, this guy's also in the trade market, because there are so many who are being looked at by a bunch of other teams, and Kent Hughes is actively shopping, I'm sure of it. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.